Welcome, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today, we are going to be giving you guys some updated weekly expected moves, some updated daily expected moves. But before we get into all that, I think it's important we go pay a visit to someone that is absolutely exploding and see what goes on with the signals there to tell us what could be going on with gold in the near future. So let's get into that because maybe by looking at something like this, we can better understand something that is coming for the SPY. Let's get into it. In this viewing here, I do have the SPX, and we're really wondering, are we going to head up to that yearly expected move, or are we going to get some disruption like we did last year around the same exact time? As people pointed out that this is the same, we acknowledge the fact that these signals on the weekly chart are completely different at this point, which leaves us some room to that upside. But something could be going on here as we get over into what we were talking about in the beginning of the video, which is gold. Gold is absolutely going up, and away to the sky directly to a certain move that we give out on Patreon. And we directly tag that move, and we can understand that the weekly chart is way up there. And when it is way up there, gold can be a good indication of, are we going to absolutely see some downside for gold? Well, the weekly chart would suggest that this can overall continue. Now, are we going to see a pullback from gold on the weekly chart? I guess that's the main thing that we're getting at here. And then we can maybe read into it for a moment. Well, we can see that when we last talked about gold, we talked about the fact that it has a form of divergence, but because it is so extended, we might need to make one more. And as we go make one more, we tag a key level, a monthly expected move, just so you are aware, has been tagged for the month of January. And we do notice that when these things would confirm, we do see an extreme amount of divergence as of right now. So if gold is able to see some confirmation here, it would say that it is going to go through a little bit more of a weekly correction, a weekly pullback, if you will. This means that gold is probably on the verge of correcting in some way, but man, I wouldn't bet against it the way that it's shaping up. I'm sure some people are good with risk management and they're going to do so. But I just wanted to point out these signals very, very briefly here that you do have an extreme divergence here on the RSI, on the MACD at the same time, not as extreme on the MACD, always aware of failures and continuation with gold, right? I'm not willing to bet against this bad boy, but it would make sense in this area for it to correct in some way and see a weekly pullback. So why can this help us out? Well, it's overall, what is gold going to tell us? Is this coming down going to be some sort of rotation into somewhere? Or is this telling you that something really bad is coming? Because a lot of the times when gold and silver do spike, that kind of leads you to believe something bad is coming down the pipeline. But is it just coming down the pipeline? That is the overall suggestion here. Because as we go back into, say, the SPX and we look at the weekly chart, we can see that it is completely different. So the fact that it is completely different than these times over here, is gold going to tell us that people are rotating into the SPX and out of gold? Or is it telling us that we are about to see something a little bit crazy to the downside? And the truth of this matter is we don't know, right? We have to see how the market proves itself. And that's perfectly fine conversation because a lot of good traders out there will believe that the market isn't 100%. You can't tell the future, but what you are doing is putting yourself in high probable situations. So I really do appreciate the fact that I've been reading a lot of comments lately, and a lot of those comments have been bringing up this wedging in here. And the big thing about this wedging in here is what? What do we acknowledge about this wedging right in here? Well, we do notice that price action is tight, and that's the comments that I really like to see. Not a lot of, well, at least for the most part, we are seeing more people suggest we don't know if this is going to crash down. We don't know if it is going to go up, but we need to be paying attention because a big move is coming. So that is what we want to take away from this. Is gold saying there is going to be a major disruption, or is gold saying that we are going to get a pullback that rotates into the SPX? Well, that's where we do our homework on the shorter time frames. That's why we do our homework in the shorter time frames to tell us what we can look for to see what is most probable in the next coming week. So we're going to get you guys those weekly expected moves, but I do enjoy the fact that more people in the comment section are starting to say a big move is coming, and not that this has to be exactly the same kind of move that happened in 2025. I think that's very, very good. But gold looks like it might be tapping into those levels according to our monthly expected move, where risky to the upside plays, starting position for upside there could be a problem. because you do have reversal signals. And if those things do confirm, then a weekly pullback from gold is coming. What is that weekly pullback going to tell you about the market? Well, if we pay attention to those shorter time frames, maybe we can find out. So let's get you guys some weekly expected moves. And just for a small blip before we get you those weekly expected moves, let's talk about what we were talking about last weekend. Last weekend, we were talking about the 2-hour getting down by the center line. Our scenario number 2 actually came up after scenario number 1. Overall failed. The 30-minute did not curl up in this area. The 2-hour was able to pull back. Where do we stop? Right around that weekly expected move. Very, very nice. The 2-hour was able to remain positive. So is this going to roll down and break critical levels? Well, we might need to give you those updated weekly expected moves before we actually talk about that. But we know one thing. If the 2-hour is able to curl up here, it is very likely to do what? Not only test this high, but potentially extend to next week's weekly expected move. So it's important to have those levels for both directions. And we're going to get into some bullish and bearish cases and maybe even give some scenarios just like we did last week. Now, the bullish thing, I think pretty simple here. We want to get those weekly expected moves of 710. Notice that 700 level coming up again, just like last week. 683.22 to the downside. And we consider where the 2-hour is. If this were able to confirm up, if we see a nice confirmation here, we can easily see how that would extend up to that 700 level. And that would be very, very probable once we see confirmation for the 2-hour chart. As of right now, though, we do see that the 30-minute is kind of struggling to curl up in this area, giving us that higher low that we talked about just a couple of days ago. Right, talking about the higher low situation, we have not seen the 30-minute be able to curl up into positive territory. So another bullish thing that we could really realize here is if the 30-minute is able to curl up, we have a chance to go to that daily expected move. But we notice that the daily expected move, unless we see something a little surprising, we wouldn't be able to make a new high because the daily expected move, the options data is saying that we have a 68% chance to land in this area for Tuesday. Actually, it will be Tuesday. So 694.22 to the upside, 689.10 to the downside. Those are your daily expected moves. And what we can acknowledge here is this could be a pullback, right? The 30-minute could be curling up and we could be back up to testing the high, going to make a new one, and that would be the bullish case. If we are actually going to roll and maybe even go negative here, well, we can still carve out higher lows as long as we do not make a new one. But one thing to acknowledge here is if we are going to see a trap to the downside, we could see the bearish roll and take out this low. If we would see that low taken out and get some kind of roll here, we want to be very cautious in this area, because that could lead to more downside. But if that divergence does pop up, we will be paying attention at our weekly expected moves. The truth is we still haven't gotten through Vixpiration. So if we need a little bit bigger pop in volatility, which we're going to go over after we get through the Qs in just a moment, we can acknowledge and look at the signals from the VIX and see what it is suggesting is the most probable for next week. But one thing that we can acknowledge as we kind of tie together a little bit of macro with our weekly expected moves is the fact that the 2-hour has still violated its divergences. That means that in order to say that we are going to go through some kind of daily disruption, we would have to see a 2-hour move that most likely takes out these lows, or at least comes down to that weekly expected move and fails as it retests the 5-day and rolls in these areas. We have to see a bearish roll. We have to see some sort of divergence to really say that we are going to get some sort of daily disruption. And a note for the daily chart has violated recent divergences. So at this point, I would not expect something like 2025 to happen right away in 2026. But we may need to remake those signals, remake the divergences instead before we are able to actually see that disruption or see some sort of lower high from the daily chart. So I really wanted to go over this stuff in this video for the SPY with those weekly expected moves. We can easily see if the 2-hour was able to confirm up, we would see an easy target of that 700 level where people would get euphoric over that 700, but maybe that would be where a 2-hour pullback does happen as we go into Vixpiration. If we want to see more volatility going into Vixpiration, we can come down to these levels, but we better make reversal signals before we take out this low, or we are at risk of seeing the bearish roll. But if we are able to hold up by that center line, right, hold this 2-hour by the center line, and that is able to confirm up at any point, we would suggest that you are going to come and test these highs and maybe even go make a new one. This is still the SPY, but you may be saying, well, we're the weekly expected moves, our 68% zones for the week using the options data to calculate aren't suggesting that it is highly probable that we come outside and get below this level for the SPY. But when we go over to the QQQs on the 2-hour chart, we see that that level is way more critical for the QQQs. Now, we want to pay attention to this level. We want to look for the roll if we are able to break that. That is the bearish scenario here for the Qs, especially as the 2-hour failed to curl up initially here, but instead was able to now curl down and kind of reject into negative territory. Now, we haven't lost these lows, so let's get you guys the weekly expected moves first. 631.46 to the upside, 611.06 to the downside. As we talked further and further about downside, if this is rejecting and we need to come and test lower levels, well, this is where we would really have to watch for that bearish roll and hopefully see a very similar thing, right? The SPY is going to be, I think, a much better indicator to, that we are going to see the bearish roll if it can break its low. So if the low is taken out here, we will still use our weekly expected moves and look for those reversal signals. Look for the 30-minute chart to tell us something, because the bullish case here is pretty simple. If the 2-hour is able to confirm up and it is by that center line, that we will make our way towards 631.46, or at least a test of these wicks up in here for that high. The 30-minute chart as of right now is right by the center line, so we're gearing up. Is this going to be a pullback? Is this going to be a pullback that has overall resolved itself? Do we have more time to spend in here? Well, let's just see if the 30-minute can remain by that center line as it is negative right now, and see if that is able to curl up into positive territory. Because if the 30-minute can curl up right here, or if it wants to pull down for a moment and curl up down in here, that would not be breaking the low. And we would say that we are going to test this high, go make a new one as we confirm into positive territory. Very important to make sure that remains by that center line. If we are going to see the bearish case start to open up according to the Qs, then we would have to see some sort of disruption here to break that low. We can see a move outside of this that comes back into our 68% zone. As we break the lows, maybe we come back into that zone and we start to see a roll, and we will look for divergences at that weekly expected move. Just because we come down and test these levels, we still have to watch for reversal signals, and that's the sad truth here. We always want to pay attention to bullish signals as the SPY has violated its 2-hour reversal signals for some kind of downside, as the daily chart on the SPY has violated its divergences as well. This means that we need to pay attention even if we break this low. This low right over here, because just like the last time we broke this low, that was where our bearish case was open. But because we made those 2-hour reversal signals there, we were able to be on top of things. We're going to do the same thing if we get that bearish roll that we did right over here. We're going to do that right in this area if that does take place for the Qs. So the Qs are showing a little bit more weakness in this area. They have not broken out to make that new high. Though remember that the market has to prove itself, and you need to do your homework on those shorter time frames, because just because you see a wedge like this does not mean it has to play out to the downside. Instead, you just want to say that price action is getting very tight, and we may need to see more information over the next couple of sessions to see where that big move is going. And I'm thankful that a lot of people in the comments are now just suggesting a big move is coming, and I'm ready to react. But you can kind of see down here on the Qs that the daily chart was able to cross down. So what is volatility overall suggesting we could see early on next week? Well, let's go over to volatility. The daily chart is right by that center line. So what have we been looking for from volatility according to our videos over the weekends? We've been looking for volatility to give us some sort of break of this level, right? Break of this level, come down for a daily pullback, and then curl to the upside. So we want to be very, very critical if we see reversal signals that suggest the daily can get going. Do we see that as of right now? Because if this is able to curl down, and maybe this is just that dip before expiration, well then the daily chart may be able to curl down in negative territory, which would suggest that we can actually still test this low, go make a new one, aka make our way to 1212. This would actually open up the potential for a squeeze, but we have to be ready to react, because as we go into next week, the 2-hour is still by that center line. We have seen a little bit of a recipe here for the 2-hour to get going, which means volatility may increase early on next week, but we want to see this from the VIX over the next trading session or two. This would be a very good hint if the VIX is able to make some sort of divergence, or if the VIX is able to make that lower high. And I would overall lean towards the lower high at this point, but it doesn't matter what I lean towards. It matters how the market proves itself, and it matters how I react to it. If I see a divergence in this area or a lower high in this area early on next week, and that is able to confirm, that signal would suggest that the daily chart is going to curl down in negative territory. That would suggest that we are about to squeeze to the upside. So we will be paying attention to it. What is the bearish case, though, for volatility here? If the 2-hour is able to curl up and you do not see a divergence, if the 2-hour is able to curl up and wipe out any kind of divergence that could possibly form here, wipe out any of this, wipe out any of that, then we would say, uh-oh, this is more than expected. And if we make one more higher low, one more higher low, one more higher low on your indicators, all of them, then we would suggest that the market is going to dump off a bit here and we are going to see deeper prices. So the bearish case is we do not make divergences, we do not make the lower high, and we would look for a higher low here from volatility. Okay, so for the bearish case, you would look for those things. For the bullish case, we would want those things to form and roll to the downside. As of right now, because the SPY has violated its 2-hour signals, because the SPY has violated its daily signals, you would overall look for potential continuation, but we have to see how the market proves itself. We know that the market is very tight here, so a big move is coming. So it is very imperative to watch volatility over the next couple of sessions. And if you see any kind of reversal signal that suggests that the daily chart is going to curl down, well, then this tightness could resolve itself to the upside, and we could make our way to that 700. We could even make our way to that monthly expected move. Now, before we get into the summary, I can't believe I didn't go into the 30-minute chart, right? If we're going to see the 2-hour by that center line, this is everything we do in the full technical analysis course, right? If we're going to see a 2-hour by the center line, I'm looking for the hints that this can curl up here. What is going to be most probable for next week actually can be shown to us. So thank you for watching to the end of the video. The 30-minute chart here for volatility did come down and completely test that low with the wick, but with the closure of the bars, we are looking at a potential double bottom in the form of a higher low. You can see that we saw a curl down and we are curling up right by that center line. That means volatility is telling you early on next week, we should be looking for maybe a little pop in volatility. So it's very important to watch for the divergence and the lower high from volatility. That will be a huge hint. And if those don't form, then we can see the bearish roll start. So if we are going to take this in stride here, if the 2-hour is able to curl up into positive territory, then we would say that we can test that 700. But we have to see early on what volatility is telling us. Are we going to just go down to that daily expected move and then be able to see that 2-hour curl up? Or are we going to go down to the weekly expected move and see what happens down by this low, see if we're able to figure stuff out before we are able to see some sort of bearish roll in this area? We will have to see how the market proves itself over the next few trading sessions. The 30-minute, if it remains by that center line, we would look for this as our hint early on that the 30-minute can go down to that daily and curl up into positive territory. We need that to remain by the center line to keep saying those type of things, or else we are at serious risk of actually seeing us test that weekly expected move. That you guys, the full technical analysis course is down there. It's only going to be $100 for a few more days. It's only going to be 90% off for a few more days. And this is the last time it will be $100. I'm saying this because if you are watching these videos and it's still hard for you to understand, that will really clear things up for you. You will get a completely different outlook on the charts. You will get a completely different outlook on these weekly expected moves. And maybe it will benefit you very, very greatly in your trading future. I think that would be fantastic. The best part about the course is you have a 3-day weekend. You can take it over this weekend and completely get through it, really get a different outlook on the market as we look for these things throughout next week. And next week, I will make sure to try to put aside some time as we're still waiting for baby girl. My wife's in so much pain. But as we're still waiting for baby girl, I will make sure to put aside some time because this week is going to be extremely critical as price action has, as some of you guys pointed out in the comments, been getting very tight. So if we're able to get whatever happens this week, maybe going on into next week, if we're able to get next week right, I think that we will know which way this is going and if it is going to go to that monthly upward expected move in January. But we got to get through that expiration first, and we got to see how the market proves itself. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, doing all that good stuff. I wish you nothing but goodness over your weekend. I hope that you are able to spend some time with family and things like that, but I respect you if you dedicate some time to learning, and that course is down there in the description. So maybe you can better understand these videos, but maybe you can become a better trader who understands how these markets move over time. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.